You're watching DC News Now at 9 o'clock. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Well, results are rolling in from Super Tuesday, and as polls start to close here on the East Coast, we're seeing President Biden and former President Trump clinching several states, including Virginia. Trump is holding a rally right now at his Mar-a-Lago club down in Palm Beach, Florida. A live look right now. You can see the packed crowd of supporters. They're about to celebrate Trump's Super Tuesday victories. He's expected to speak a bit later tonight. And in Virginia, dozens of Republicans in Arlington County, they're celebrating the former president's win as well. Our Max Marcilla joining us live. And Max, plenty of excitement at O'Sullivan's Irish Pub there.
There is excitement. It has quieted down just a little bit over the last couple of hours as the news of Trump winning Virginia is a few hours old now. But this group of Republicans is excited, they tell us, because they know who they will rally around come November after a primary season where there were several different options, including one on the ballot this time around in the primary. Now, voters here in Arlington, as well as voters in Alexandria, two very blue Northern Virginia areas, they actually voted overwhelmingly for Nikki Haley, but statewide, especially in more rural areas, the former president was the big winner, and that carried him to the win. Taking a look at the Arlington GOP watch party, this is video from earlier. Now, it's worth noting Virginia is an open primary state, meaning anyone can vote in either primary, and early turnout numbers did indicate stronger turnout at the polls in Arlington for Republicans. But with the 2020 rematch in sight, both Democrats and Republicans are discussing the urgency of the next several months.
So if you voted for Nikki Haley, if you're a Democrat and you voted for Nikki Haley, we welcome you to this party so we could talk about the issues that create the opportunity for the American dream.
Trump could end our democracy as we know it. It's important to support the president in this case.
And votes are, of course, still coming in. We're waiting for some of the early votes to be casted, but the main headline, as you said, Chris, former President Trump and President Biden, the big winners in Virginia.
Well, Max, you mentioned voter trends in Arlington. What about some of the other key counties here in our area?
Yeah, so Chris, we mentioned how Arlington and Alexandria, they're very blue counties. What's going to be more interesting and maybe indicative of the general election is what happens in some of the more purpley counties. Now, look, Northern Virginia is more blue to begin with, but we're looking at counties like Loudoun, like Prince William, like Stafford, areas where it's a little more purple-ish than Arlington and Alexandria. So I'm going to look at some of the numbers here because nearly all the votes are in those counties. In Loudoun County, a near split. It was 52-46 in favor of Trump. Prince William County, 61-37 for Trump. Stafford, 67-30. So why is that important? Because just look at recent history. Former President Trump, even when he won in 2016, lost the general here in Virginia, lost again in 2020. And political analysts we've spoken to say one of the big reasons for that is suburban voters in those counties, in Prince William, in Loudoun, in Stafford. And that's the reason why Glenn Youngkin did so well a couple of years ago, because he got those voters that Trump didn't necessarily get in 2016 and 2020. So, again, why is that all important? Those are some of the voter bases that President Trump, former President Trump, needs to capture if he wants to win in November. But again, everyone we have spoken to on both sides of this election, Democrats and Republicans, they say the work is just getting started because November, it's going to be intense when we get there, Chris.
All right, Max Marcilla reporting live tonight in Arlington County. Max, thank you. Meanwhile, breaking news here at 9 o'clock. Fairfax Connector workers and Transdev have reached a tentative deal on a new contract. Workers have been on strike since February 22nd. Union members say some of the improvements in their new contract are better retirement plans, better wages for drivers and mechanics, and a guaranteed 40-hour work schedule. The union expects to bring the tentative agreement to Fairfax Connector members for ratification tomorrow. Meanwhile, in the district, a massive crime bill passes unanimously. Secure DC, the result of surging crime in the district last year. Our reporter Marielle Carbone live tonight at the Wilson Building. And Marielle, council members say this historic bill will address various crime trends in the district.
Yeah, Chris, that is the hope. There are more than 100 provisions in this bill, including the creation of some new gun offenses dealing with illegal guns and changes to the definition of carjacking and much more. Today's vote, it was really fine-tuning the bill with some contentious debate happening here at the Wilson Building. Now, some of those changes, one, an addition of DNA collection and analysis. This was controversial, but majority of the council voting in favor. The amendment allows a person's DNA to be collected if they are charged with a violent crime or a sexual assault misdemeanor. That DNA will be destroyed if the case is dropped or if the person is found not guilty. Another amendment debated today, it sets the felony theft threshold at $1,000 or more, bumping it up from just $500 as originally proposed in Secure DC. The debate there really stemming from concerns that it was too punitive. Now tonight, Councilmember Brooke Pinto, who is behind Secure DC, called this a win for the district. Take a listen to what she had to say after the vote happened here tonight.
Our residents have been clamoring across the city for change, for safety, and today marks a marked shift. I hope that residents feel and are safer as a result.
What we have been, talking about and what residents have been saying is, yes, we're worried about crime, but they're also worried about abuse of power, and they deserve to be safe from both.
That was Melissa Wasser with the ACLU of DC. She says that there are some good steps in this, but there are still a lot of areas for concern, mainly that DNA provision, but also dealing with the drug-free zones that this creates. A lot of people questioning the legality of that tonight. So Wasser and other advocates say that they will continue to follow and see how all of this plays out. Big question, Chris, is when this will actually go into effect. Here tonight, Council also voted on an emergency version of this legislation, passing it. So that means as soon as the mayor signs off on the emergency legislation, this will go into effect. Reporting live from the Wilson Building, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Mara, thank you. And speaking of the mayor, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser praising the passage of the crime bill. Her statement tonight reads in part, "We are a city that is committed to creating opportunity and that believes in second chances, but we will not tolerate violence and we will not tolerate criminal activity that disrupts our sense of safety and our ability to build thriving neighborhoods." All right, turning now to the weather, staying in the district, signs of spring is certainly on the way. Take a look here. The National Park Service says the cherry blossoms around the Tidal Basin have officially now reached stage 2. That's when the little buds you can see here start peeking out on the trees. They're in the green. The Park Service predicts that the bloom will be between March 23rd and March 26th. So Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb, spring, yep, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, I think we'll hit stage 3 by this weekend. So we're
Nice.
inching very close. And this wet weather, it's super helpful to those buds blooming across the region. Right now, we're sitting under mostly cloudy skies, but we're watching our next cutoff low. It's an area of low pressure, once again, almost similar to what you saw this morning. And there's some uncertainty with this track. Which way will it go? Because it matters if we'll see, scattered rainfall or kind of some of that heavy duty stuff. Temperatures, though, they're playing a vital role to this fog that we are going to see across the region developing overnight into tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now for the district, 52 out towards Fredericksburg. Good evening, 54 degrees, upper 40s the farther you get into Baltimore County. Winds, they're not as bad tonight. So with that low pressure well to our south at this point, it's going to take some time before winds really start to pick up a notch going into your Wednesday. What you can't see is a cold front that's out towards Detroit. That's going to interact with that low, and that's really what's going to provide us widespread rain going into your Wednesday. This is an all-day situation, washout conditions. At this point, no rain across our region, and we're off to a very quiet overnight. It's really tomorrow morning after 9 o'clock. So this rain starts to impact us after we get over this early morning commute. That's the beneficial news. Your evening commute, though, it's in jeopardy. We'll time things out coming up. Chris?
Okay, Janessa, thanks. We'll see you then. Meanwhile, new details tonight. A D.C. man now facing arson charges. Police say he intentionally set fire to a senior living center in Southeast. It happened yesterday at the Arthur Capper Senior Apartments at 5th Street. Police say 63-year-old Mitchell Cooper threatened the building's property manager, then began setting things on fire in his unit after receiving a past due rent notice. Cooper was was taken into custody. No injuries were reported. In Maryland, Prince George's County Police, they are investigating a deadly stabbing inside a laundromat. It happened shortly after noon today in Allentown Road in Hillcrest Heights. A woman was stabbed to death. A man also stabbed. We're told he's in critical condition right now. He was rushed to the hospital. Investigators now looking into a motive for that attack. All new tonight, Liberty University in Virginia is facing a $14 million fine for multiple violations of the Clery Act. Now, that law requires institutions that participate in federal student aid programs to report on public safety issues on campus. So according to the Department of Education, the university failed to publish crime statistics, and there were issues with its treatment of sexual assault survivors. This is the largest fine ever issued for violations of the Clery Act.
It breaks my heart seeing that now, over 20 years later, the things in this, report and stuff from the Department of Education are things that happened to me then, and they're things that are still happening now.
Liberty University released a statement in response to the fine, saying in part it is fully committed to maintaining the safety and security of students and staff without exception, adding that they've made more than $10 million in improvements since 2022 to comply with the Clery Act. All right, all new tonight. If you've ever found yourself searching for a bathroom when walking around D.C., haven't we all? You'll soon be in luck. 5 free portable bathrooms could start arriving in the district by next week. Our Daniel Hamburg joins us live tonight from Navy Yard in front of one of those bathrooms. And Daniel, that one's been there for almost a year now.
Yeah, Chris, this one in particular is funded by the Capital Riverfront Business Improvement District, but the 5 ones that are going up around the city, the exact same kind of unit right here in the budget for the Department of Public Works. Now, all you have to do, see this QR code, you scan it and you send a text, and then just in a second, this door will open and you step inside to use the bathroom. For locals and tourists alike, finding a public bathroom in D.C. isn't always an easy task.
If you want this to be a walkable city, then there should be places, to freely use the restroom without having to worry about buying something.
That's where Throne Bathrooms comes in.
Welcome to Throne. Once you've entered, the door will close behind you.
Contracted by the D.C. Department of Public Works, the Brentwood-based company will deliver 5 bathrooms to Columbia Heights Plaza, Oxen Run Park, DuPont Circle, 8th and H Streets Northeast, and somewhere downtown.
Long overdue. This should have happened years ago.
Marcia Birnbaum with the D.C. Public Restrooms Initiative has been pushing for this since 2015.
We now know from the research we've done and from your going in and out how many restaurants block usage. So we advocated, we did our research.
Councilmember Brianne Nadeau, overseeing DPW, helped secure the $400,000 to fund it.
This space will be welcoming and accommodating to anyone who needs it.
They feel like a really nice indoor bathroom, but they're completely self-contained and movable.
Throne Labs COO and co-founder Jessica Heinzelman says the bathrooms will be consistently cleaned and serviced.
We have 21 different smart sensors on each Throne that's telling us things about freshwater level, wastewater level.
Throne gets feedback from each user to rate cleanliness too. You can enter using the Throne app, QR code, or by text. They also work with nonprofit partners to provide tap cards to those without access to phones, including the homeless. Now, Throne bathrooms can be moved and requires no water, electric, or sewer hookups. These units are expected to be in D.C., hopefully starting next week. The pilot program is funded through September this fiscal year. We're live in Southeast. Daniel Hamburg, D.C. News Now.